Growing Up Boomer. I'm your host, Padre, with my co-host, Cotton. And this podcast is dedicated to the life and times of the baby boomer generation. The show is loosely scripted, and sometimes we'll go down rabbit holes, and where it leads us to, one will never know. This podcast can be informative, funny, and sometimes irreverent. But most of all, we hope you find it entertaining. Hey, Cotton, how's it going, my man?
Doing fine. Fine, Padre, and yourself?
Oh, you know what? What I discovered about getting old
Yes.
is that old age has 7 different stages in life.
Oh.
Yeah. First, when you're a child, there's spills. Right? Then when you get older, there's drills. Yeah, you got to go to school. You got to do this. You got to do that. Then you become a teenager. Then there's thrills. Then you become an adult. Then there's bills, ills, pills, and wills. Yeah, I'm on the pills part right now. My next step is the wills.
Okay. I'm ready for it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you know our podcast is today about hard truths that us baby boomers have learned over the years, and that the younger generation ought to listen to it, because this is how life is. Right? We've been there.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, Cotton, but before we get started on the podcast, I want to let you know that we got our first download from the Netherlands.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome.
That is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then
sure wasn't Everland.
Neverland. Huh? Oh, here's some fun facts about the Netherlands. And did you know they were the first to actually be in New York? New York was a Dutch colony at one time, yes. And it was called and instead of New York, it was New Amsterdam.
Wow.
And that's until the English took it over. Then they decided to rename it to New York. But they actually had a trading post on Manhattan. And then some of the names they kept, like, for instance, Brooklyn and Harlem, they are actual Dutch words.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
So we got those names. Basically, they derive from the Dutch language.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were close enough. Right. Yeah, if you say it in Dutch, it's close enough. It sounds like Brooklyn.
Yeah.
It's like a Brooklynin, and Harlinen, or something like that. So, but I mean,
really?
Yeah, so they kept the names.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
that
yeah.
is really cool.
Yeah, here's another fact about them. There is more bicycles in the Netherlands than people.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that on TV.
Yeah, there's 18 million people, but there's 23 million bicycles. That's amazing. Yeah.
Well, at least when they get run over, it doesn't splatter them all over the sidewalk.
That would be in New Zealand. Remember, they had more cars than people there.
Yeah.
Oh, get this here. A third of the country is below sea level.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's, then, you have to take your hat off to the Dutch. I mean, because you got to think about the engineering that goes through channels, dikes, pumps, and everything to keep that third of that country dry. But oh, yeah. The other thing was about it. This one's going to kill you.
Okay.
They are the tallest people in the world.
What? Really?
The average man is 6 foot, and the women are right behind them.
Wow. I got a reason why. Let me tell you. Maybe it's something to do with the gravity.
Yeah.
So as that baby comes out, it just stretches.
No. The scientists believe it's genetics and a diet heavy in dairy products.
Oh, really?
Yes. And they say the quality of life in the Netherlands is not to be matched. Apparently, they have a very good quality of life.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what they say. Oh, and this one you'll like. The Dutch invented gin.
Really?
Yeah. It was called Genever.
Oh, Genever.
Yeah. It had eventually then morphed into gin.
Wow.
And this is what surprised me about the Netherlands. They are the
Hmm.
world's second largest exporter of agricultural goods, next to the United States.
Really? I thought it was freezing cold.
I have no idea, but man, I was shocked by that.
Wow.
Yeah. And this makes sense. You know, they called it the Venice of the North. It has 60 miles of canal. Venice
Wow.
dwarfs in canals compared to the Netherlands.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh, and get this one. This one's going to kill you about the Netherlands here. Orange carrots were manufactured in the Netherlands.
What do you mean manufactured?
In other words,
They
carrots
they
used to be purple, white, and yellow.
no way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. And the Dutch farmers, what they did is they selectively breeded the carrots to be orange in honor of William of Orange, which was the leader of the Dutch fighting for independence.
No way. Really?
Oh, that purple sounds pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I don't know about eating it though, because they don't taste like a popsicle.
Yeah. Oh, get this. The Netherlands played a pivotal role in development of the Wi-Fi. Victor Hayes, who was known as the father of the Wi-Fi, right? We established the standards to make wireless internet possible.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just truly amazing. They also have the largest Van Gogh collection in the Netherlands.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is that? Oh, wow.
And this is it. They were the oldest stock exchange,
Wow.
established in 1602.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And this will be the last thing on the Netherlands. They are remarkably flat. There is no hills whatsoever in the Netherlands.
Wow.
Yeah, people that
Wow.
go there and they look and they say, and of course, a third of it's below sea level, but it is pretty doggone flat.
Jeez.
Oh, Cotton, I got to tell you, I'm reading this book called 4 Lessons from My 3 Sons. A gentleman, yeah, I know it. It's a gentleman by the name of Jeff Nelliger. And it's very, very interesting. It's pretty hardcore when I say that. I mean, when you're raising kids, and I can imagine 3 boys. Whew.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you raised 2 girls, right?
Still.
Yeah. And you're still feeling the effects, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. No, it drifted away now. That's good. That's good.
No,
I got a grandson that plays a badass soccer.
Oh yeah. Oh man, and he is quite the athlete, isn't he?
Yeah, oh, yeah. I got pictures of baseball. I got football here. I got a lot of pictures of him.
Oh yeah. I mean, he is quite the athlete. So then I started reading it. Right, I'm about halfway through it, because of the fact that, as you know, Thanksgiving is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But we always celebrate Thanksgiving at my in-laws' house down south. So that means that we don't celebrate it with our kids up here. So what's the tradition is 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, we have a Thanksgiving up here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have all the kids and we tell them, bring your friends, like they have some friends that don't have family up here. It says, just bring them on down. And we had just a great time. We had probably about 20 people here over the weekend.
Oh, wow.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, having a great time,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But let's get back to the book. I am going to see if we can interview this guy, because I tell you what, some of the stuff in here is, not hilarious, but it's just downright the way our parents raised us.
Oh, okay.
Here, let me read one quote from the book, okay? This is near the beginning of the book. It's, about 20% into the book, and it says, get this, because that's the thing about daily life. It is relentlessly offers up situations where you encounter the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the inspirational in human nature. Every day, life is the perfect setting. You can judge everyone and anything, and why shouldn't you? See something? Say something. Platitudes are hot air. The real world is as solid and unforgiving as a brick.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm going like, oh yeah, I remember that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're going to go over here in the podcast is the hard truths of life.
Yep.
All righty, my man. What do you say we get back into the podcast?
You got it.
All right. First and foremost, on the hard truths of life is, number one, life isn't fair. You will see, you'll see people get stuff they don't deserve, and you'll see people not get stuff that they deserve.
Yep.
Yeah, that happens a lot in the workplace. The people that deserve credit never get it.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Life is not fair.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Number two, not everybody's going to like you. I mean, how many times have you met people that they want everybody to like them? I'm sorry, that does not happen.
Yeah.
You know, people have different perspectives and they look at people differently. And I mean, it just could be your looks. They don't like you.
Yeah.
I remember this one time, and it's just a quick little story. When I was working at Mark C. Bloom, I took a little hiatus from retail one time, and they had hired me. They wanted to hire me, but they said, I don't have a position open for 6 months. So I said, okay, I'll find, you know. And they had paid me enough for my old job so I could last, but I couldn't stand being at home. Just couldn't. All right.
Yeah.
So I said, I'll just do a little part-time work and whatever. And I started at Mark C. Bloom. Well, they liked me so much, they kept me for this whole 6 months. I was full. And I remember this one guy was trying to sell this one guy a set of tires. And this guy did not, and he was our best salesman. I mean, the guy could sell ice to Eskimos. This guy was so good. This guy did not want to deal with him. Just as I'm sorry. Yeah. And he just couldn't. And it really bothered him. And so we took the customer and sold him. He was real nice and everything like that. And so we just asked him, he says, hey, did so-and-so say something to you that kind of upset you? You know, we want to make sure that you leave happy. And he said, no. He said, he reminds me of my son who was killed in Vietnam. So, yeah. So, you just, and there's some things that you don't even do or you're not even aware of that people don't like you. And for that customer, it just brought back very bad memories.
Right.
So, you just have to be the nicest person you can be, authentic. Mm-hmm. And if they don't like you, oh, well, move on. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I agree.
You know this one inside and out, Cotton.
Okay.
No one is coming to save you. Right?
No one?
No one's going to come to save you, man. The truth hurts. Underscore it, man.
You got it.
You are on your own, buddy.
Yeah.
That's it. No one's coming to save you. You got to get out of the pickle. You got to have accountability. You've got to make bold decisions, and ain't nobody coming to save you.
That's true.
And then this other one was, wealth does not guarantee happiness.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
You're thinking about that one, huh? It really doesn't. It doesn't. I remember one time I was talking with my daughter one time, and we were talking about her goal, and her goal was to own a Corvette.
Oh.
I mean, that was her goal, when she was young, she was going to college and stuff like that. And I told her, I said, honey, owning a Corvette isn't everything. And she thought about it a little bit, looked up, and I thought for sure, good, I had paid her. She says, you know what? You're right, Dad. Having a nice house to put the Corvette in is also important. Okay, I give up. Oh, well, that's a hard truth, man. Just because you got money is not going to make you happy. Happiness comes
That's
from
true.
the inside.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're dirt poor or whatever. I remember Patrick Swayze said that he was before he passed away. He was doing a movie, I think somewhere in India, and he said everybody's happy and they don't have anything. He was like in the way out, and he says everyone is just happy, and he wanted that.
Yeah.
And then he changed his whole outlook on life because of that. Because here's you got people who have nothing, and they are just as happy as can be. And here we have everything, and we're just upset about all this stuff. Wealth does not bring happiness. And you know what else there is? What goes around doesn't always come around. Yeah. Like I tell my kids, you want fairness in this world, you ain't gonna get it. Okay?
That's
fairness, justice, that all comes in the next life. It don't come here. It comes in the next life when you want fair. And then you're going like, I hope I don't get justice on me. I was like, ooh. But yeah, it's karma and stuff like that. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes bad people just seem to have all the luck.
Yeah.
And it's just like wealth doesn't make you happy. Like, you're responsible for your own happiness. You have to look inside and say, no matter what, I'm not going to let it affect me. Like I used to tell my kids, I am not giving someone the keys to my life. I'm not letting them drive me. A lot of times we do that. This person just gets under your skin, and you just can't deal with it. Oh, know a few people like that, huh?
Yeah.
Where they get under your skin, and there is no reason to let them drive your life.
Yeah.
So you have to be responsible for your own happiness. And get this. And we used to say this. Remember, you and I used to say this to young entrepreneurs when they were coming on board. The world owes you nothing.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the spirit.
Yeah. It doesn't owe you anything. If you think you're owed something, you are on the wrong horse, man. Because the world owes you nothing. What do you think this is, Santa Claus? Oh yeah, if I just be good. Oh, speaking of that, you ever see the movie? You ever see the movie with Mel Gibson called Fat Man?
I don't think so.
Oh, you need to see that. Because it's getting close to Christmas time. You need to see that movie, Cotton.
Oh, really?
He plays Santa Claus. Yeah. He plays Santa Claus. And, and he gives this one rich, honorary, just obnoxious rich kid a piece of coal for Christmas. So what does the kid do? He puts a hit out on Santa Claus.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hey, get this. Guess who's been funding Santa Claus's shop? The U.S. government has been sponsoring this shop.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And so what ends up happening, the military takes over and has them making munitions. Because the elves are such great workers. They're going, these guys work 24 hours a day. And all they eat is candy. All they eat is candy. Oh, it's a great movie. It's called Fat Man. Oh. You need to see that.
And who plays Santa?
Mel Gibson.
It is Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I got to see that.
You got to see it. It is hilarious. Oh, yeah. And here's a tough one that people... And you know what? When you're young, you don't realize this. But when you get our age, you start going, yeah, death is certain. We are all going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
inevitable.
Yeah. You don't think about that. You really don't think about that when you were growing up. I mean, remember when we were teenagers? We didn't, that's a long way off. But when you start getting in your 70s, you start thinking and you start seeing all these actors and everybody passing away, and they're like either younger than you or not much older.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
going like, whoa,
But you also see the guys that are 80 or 90 or in the late 70s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're right, and you just have to think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, and you have to prepare for that as well. You've got to have a
Yeah.
mindset for that. Oof. And it's hard to think about. I mean, it might be depressing, but I mean, it's going to happen, like it or
Yeah.
not.
Go. You
And the
gotta go.
sooner you accept it, the better you'll live your life.
Yep.
Here's another one. You know this one happens all the time, Cotton. We're not as smart as we think we are. How many times?
And who
Oh
are
yeah.
you again?
What's yeah? We're not as smart as we think we are. What have I always said? The older we get, the better we were.
Exactly. I like that.
Oh yeah. So sometimes we just think, well, yeah, man, we were just so good, we were so sharp, man. Look how bad we were, and they're thinking like, when you really start taking into account, we weren't that good.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, how about this one, Cotton? Achieving success takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have you seen people come into the office and think, oh, I ought to be sitting over there?
Yeah.
In the VP seat. No, it takes time. You got to work at it. Forget that noise.
So how long before I could be president?
Exactly. They're like, oh yeah, or they just go into the VP office and sit down like they're, like they're the higher ups as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes time. You know what ends up happening is that these people get involved with these influencers, and very few people start and go right to the top. Very few. But I mean, it does take time to be, to find your dreams, to get an achievement. It takes time.
Yeah.
And along with that, change is constant. Think about the changes we have seen, Cotton.
Yeah.
I mean, in the 60s, putting a man on the moon, you're crazy.
Oh yeah.
Now you got people talking about putting them on Mars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what's going on?
And the people that are up there right now, they could have probably gone to Mars and back.
They can't get off. Well, I'll be honest with you. If I'm the astronauts, I don't want to have anything to do with Boeing. Send up SpaceX. Don't send up Boeing, please.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, and how about this one here? Failure is part of success.
I agree with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't really call it failure. I call it a setback. Failure is when you stop trying.
Well, yeah, but if you fail, that's when you keep going.
Yeah, but I call it a setback.
Yes.
Because it's really not failure until, like, for instance, in baseball, you don't win the World Series every year.
Uh-huh.
But it's just a small setback, but you keep trying.
Yeah.
Like I used to tell my crew, if you haven't failed, you ain't trying.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, in other words, you're playing it safe.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Because you remember the job that I used to have when we worked together, we had to take chances because we had to make a deadline.
Yeah.
And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
Right.
But you got to try. You're going to fail. But those things happen.
And those 8-hour days go to 12, but we still work on 8.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what did the father say to his son when he was giving him the business? He was retiring. He was going to give his son the business, and he said, "There's 2 rules in business." He says, first and foremost rule: if you promise a customer that you will deliver on a certain day at a certain time, you do whatever it takes to get there. If it's overtime, triple time, golden time, does not matter. You make sure that you get that product to the customer on the day and the time you said. What's the second most important thing, Dad? He said, never make such a stupid promise.
I love it.
And you know what? The other thing is pain is part of life. You know what I mean? Pain, not
Yep,
only emotional
absolutely.
pain, physical pain. Physical pain comes later in life, but there's a lot of
Hmm.
emotional pain in life.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like for instance, as we get older, we lose parents, we lose
Yep.
friends, family.
Hmm.
I mean, there is a lot of emotional pain. And then when we start getting much older, oh, geez, just getting out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh man. Like I tell my kids, right? I can groan because it's the law. When I'm getting up and what's wrong, Dad? Is I can groan. That's the law.
Yeah.
But you know, pain and the other thing is, and what people don't realize is that relationships change.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Hmm.
some for the better. I have been very
Yeah.
fortunate. My marriage has gotten better. When I
Good.
say that, because
Good.
I love my wife more now than I did when we were married, and we'll be celebrating 50 years of marriage next year.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Years. Wow.
yeah. But look at me, right? And then you look at Kathy, okay?
Uh-huh.
You know who got the short end of the stick.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
married up. It's like, how in the world did you land a beautiful woman like that?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, Cotton, but one last thing
Okay.
that all Gen Zers have to realize is you won't be young forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. You will eventually start getting our age. If you're lucky.
Yeah. Hmm.
You know. But the funny thing is about growing old is
Hmm.
sometimes we don't may not get any younger, but we don't act any older.
Yeah, I know. I love it that way.
Yeah. We act more like kids than kids sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I used to tell my kids when they were getting a little older, I'd say, and they were, like upset about something, I'd say, yeah, you know what? If you just get older, just remember this, you're gonna die.
Oh, you're a buzzkill, Dad.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, but those are the hard truths of life that we learned as growing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? And we accept them and we just go on.
Yeah.
Well, Cotton, hey, man, you know we're running a little long on this one. What do you say we bring this one to a close, buddy?
Sounds like a winner to me.
All right, my man. You have a great day. Okay.
You too, Padre.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye. Nos vemos después.
We'd like to thank you for listening and remind you if you happen to have any baby boomer topics you'd like us to cover, just email us at growingupboomer@gmail.com. And until next time, may God bless.